Hey coders, welcome to the app walkthrough section of the React Native curriculum. In this series of videos, we're going to be trying to build a full stack mobile app from near scratch. So we're going to go over a couple things you're probably going to want to have ready to go before we begin diving into the code itself. You're going to want to have either Android Studio or Xcode downloaded, installed, and set up to run your chosen simulator. I'm coding on a Windows machine, so I'll be using Android Studio and an Android device with the latest version of Pi 9 that we developers have to code on. I'm also going to have the assumption that you've watched the previous videos in this curriculum where we talk about React Native CLI. I want to make sure you have it installed, used at least once or twice, and you have a familiarity with the TypeScript template that the React Native CLI provides. We're also going to need to have a fundamental knowledge of the workflow of information, like how information is being passed around, of a tech stack that includes a React TypeScript front end. And while, yes, we are coding in React Native, we still need to know component lifecycle methods, some basics of routing in React, because we can translate these concepts laterally to a React Native application, right? The majority of the differences will be with, honestly, the rendering of the components. We're going to be using native components and not browser components to render our information. You're going to have a knowledge of a REST API backend and how to use fetch get, fetch post, put, delete requests. You're going to have a little bit of knowledge of MySQL databases in case we have to change any of our queries to work with our mobile app here compared to our web app. And discussing our web app, as in we all have one, this would make the assumption that you've gone through the Gravity curriculum in the top-down order at this point, and you have at least your blog deployed to Heroku. That way we actually have an API we can use for our mobile app. And it would also make the assumption that if you've gotten through the Intro to React Native topic or module, you will have some familiarity with some of the vanilla React components like view, text, maybe even button, and you know some basics on how to use Style Sheet to style them, messing around with the flex, the background colors, justify align items, things like that. So with that, we're going to go ahead and dive on into the code and begin making our app. This video will be just the requisites, what you're going to need here, or prerequisites, and we're going to go ahead and create the application. So if you recall, we need to do a React Native init, and it's going to be, we're going to call it blog mobile, I guess, or something like that. So it'll be a fun little name for our project here. We need to do a template flag where we have the TypeScript modifier for it as well. And this should go ahead and use npm to download and install the node modules, get my package lock.json ready to go, and just go ahead and get my templated TypeScript React Native build ready to go. This could take a couple of minutes, so we could pause the video while this goes through, and once it's done, we could come back and go ahead and install some dependencies we're going to need. So I'll see you all in the next video when we start handling that.